The lenses in the SLR Magic MicroPrime Cine lens lineup are some of my favorite lenses out there right now. And dare I say, they might actually be the best affordable Cine lenses out there. So, if that's all you came here looking for today, that's it. There's your answer. There you go. You can go ahead and make that purchase. You're going to be absolutely happy with that. That's if you trust me. Or maybe, just maybe, you want to hear a little bit more as to why these might be the best affordable Cine lenses out there. Well, now, although these were the first Cine lenses I have owned, I've actually played around with quite a few in the past. And while there are a few other good options in the budget-friendly or affordable Cine lenses category, there are a few reasons this lineup here won out for me. So first and foremost is the build quality of these lenses. I just think they're absolutely fantastic. Like I said, other budget-friendly Cine lenses seemed adequate enough, but there was just something special about the build quality of the SLR Magic MicroPrime lens lineup. The housing is a very durable metal material which doesn't feel cheap, and the lenses definitely have some weight and heft to them, making them feel very solid in your hands. I feel like I never have to worry about these lenses if they ever get roughed up a bit, which is something you never want to be worrying about. Next would be the size. Like I mentioned, they do have some weight and some heft to them, but they are not the biggest lenses around. This is absolutely huge for all of you run and gun shooters out there, because camera rigs can already get quite large, and you just don't want to have everything on your rig being huge and oversized and super heavy. Trust me when I say this, after a while of shooting with handheld or with a big camera rig, your back's going to get thrown out. You're going to feel it on your back. I do all the time, and the last thing I want is for my camera rig to be super heavy, and I don't want half the weight from that to be coming from the lens. I know some Cine lenses are absolutely huge. They're these super long, big, fat, giant Mongol lenses, but that's not something I want as a run and gun shooter. So these lenses here won't be breaking your back, but they still do have that solid feel and do have a bit of a nice weight to them. Third would be the consistency of the build of the lenses, if you want to call it that. They are all built to be pretty much the exact same size and weight, having the focus and aperture gears to be in the exact same spot, which makes it a breeze when using with a follow focus or on a gimbal when swapping out lenses. So that's a huge bonus here, and I believe most of the other budget Cine lenses out there are similar in this regard, but I believe I've come across a couple lineups where they weren't consistent. So when you want to swap it out quickly and don't want to waste time realigning things, refocusing things, rechecking everything, this is going to be a huge bonus for these lenses here. The next thing I want to talk about is the price. They go for roughly $450 US, and that is just such an affordable price, especially for a Cine level lens. You can grab a bunch of lenses in this lineup to cover all your needs for the price of a single lens from some other brands. Now, like I mentioned, there are other affordable Cine lenses out there, and some of them are cheaper than the lenses in this lineup here as well. But I feel like those lenses just were missing something and didn't really have that wow factor that the SLR Magic MicroPrime Cine lenses have. And before I get to my final point here, the biggest reason I think these are the best affordable Cine lenses out there, I just want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, and that is Cuts Clothing. Cuts Clothing is one of the best clothing brands for content creators out there. They have such comfortable, stylish looking clothes for your every need. And they've actually been adding a ton to their lineup more recently, like this new shirt over here. As a content creator and filmmaker, I'm always looking to be stylish while being very comfortable when I'm on set, and Cuts has me covered. With their new festival collection, they have a variety of options from these short sleeve t-shirts to shorts to even some hats. So they've got everything you need going into those summer months. So if you're looking to get some new threads, make sure you go to the link down in the description below and check Cuts Clothing out. If you follow my link, you will save 15% at checkout. But enough of that, let's get right back to my final point. Alright, and finally, the biggest reason I think these are the best affordable, budget-friendly Cine lenses out there is because of the image quality, or the images that they produce. The images these lenses produce just have such a beautiful film-like quality to them, and that's why these are just absolutely my favorite lenses right now. Going back to price for a second, like I said, there are cheaper options out there for budget cine lenses, but those have a much more clinical, digital, basic look to them. So if you like that look better, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So, those lenses are probably better for you, but there's just something different and special about these lenses right over here. They don't produce that overly generic look. With these lenses, they actually have some of those imperfections that you would expect from an older vintage lens. They tend to have some noticeable chromatic aberration, and there's definitely some halation or blooming of the highlights, which overall does tend to give a bit of a softer look and feel to the images they produce. And they also produce absolutely beautiful flaring while not being overbearing or overwhelming or too over the top. But that's exactly why they're my favorite. I feel I spent a ton of time trying to achieve more of a film-like look, and I've always been one to want to make my work look a bit different than everyone else's. So I'm always playing around with different filters like black premise filters and adding film grain in post, but I was never able to fully bring my footage where I wanted it to be by doing these things with other more clinical or digital looking lenses. But right out of the box, these lenses automatically have that more film-like look, and when you pair them with something like a black premise filter and add film grain in post, it takes the look even further. So when you shoot with these lenses on something like a Sony FX3 or a7S III, which produce some pretty great looking footage, I definitely feel like this is the most affordable way to achieve that cinematic film look.